everybody, another GMG review. Today we're taking a look at Battletech Alpha Strike, the 2-player starter set, which is upcoming this fall from Catalyst Game Labs, in which they kindly sent me as a very kind complimentary review copy early before release. So what is this? It's a 2-player starter set for Battletech. If you'd asked me 10 years ago if one of the games I had played the most in 2021 and 2022 was going to be Battletech, I probably wouldn't have believed you. I had not played this game at all, really. Jay is the one that played this game as a young man. I had played other games with giant robots, mostly just because I'm a miniature guy first. Before anything else, I had to be grabbed by the miniatures, and I never read any of the books. It just went right by me. I was bigger into Vor the Maelstrom from Facet Corporation or Crucible than I was into Battletech. That's nothing against Battletech. It's just that their robot miniatures weren't the robot miniatures I wanted to paint at that time, and then all of a sudden they were, and this has me incredibly excited. So, what's in the box? Well, before I crack it open and show you, you get 2 playable armies for Alpha Strike, roughly 300 to 350 points, depending upon your pilot upgrades and stuff like that. You get some inner sphere mechs, you get some clan mechs. It's designed to be a clan invasion sort of era, like around 3050, maybe a little bit later. And everything else you need to play, including terrain. You get cardstock terrain, cardstock counters, which I'm super excited about. I've been wanting counters for Alpha Strike forever. All of your accessories and tons of buildings too. And I'm already kind of workshopping in my brain how we're going to do the buildings. I have some ideas for maybe some cool MDF footprints or laser cutting something to make them nice and robust and finished. And you get a copy of the Quickstart Rules. So is it everything? No, it's not everything that comes in the Commander's Edition. That is, like, if you want rules for submarines and stuff in there, but is absolutely everything you need to play with what's in this box and to play a really engaging, fun game of Battletech. You also get a quick reference sheet and a bunch of other stuff. So enough of me jibber-jabbering. Let's open it up and actually have a look. I do have to say, I love the actual, like, physical boxes for Battletech. They're very, like, they're tough boxes. They hold up really well. I don't know, I feel like just like Battletech itself, it'll still be here in 40 years. All of their star sets come with a little primer, which is nice. If you don't know anything about the universe, just a novella to kind of like immerse you into the background of the game, which I think is cool. This one's called Chaos Theory from Brian Young, and it sets the scene between these mercenaries, the Highlanders, and the clan forces, Jade Falcon in here, which is nice. I think it's the Highlanders, I'm pretty sure. It's Jade Falcon and Northwind Highlanders, that's right, yeah. You got your Alpha Strike cards and pilot cards. So for the selection of cards in here, we opened the one Jay got one too, and we opened his. We haven't actually opened mine yet, so I've seen his, but I haven't seen my copy. You get different, so these are all different classes of mechs from the ones that were available in the previous crowdfunding Kickstarter. So you'll see they have different poses and different arms. So you get a Wasp 3W or 5A, so it's a different looking Wasp, which is kind of cool. There he is right there. I'm very excited about him. I'm see if I can get the camera. The problem is the camera's trying to focus on 2 things at once. I need to like lift the cards up too to help you guys see them. Very nice. I'll stick with the inner sphere stuff. A very cool different Locust. You can see he's a little, I love Locusts, but he's got missile or like autocannons on the arms, I think, instead of, yeah, they look like autocannons, not missile pods, which is cool. I like that pose. I love Locusts. They're one of my favorite Alpha Strike mechs. A Blackjack. And again, these all have models already, but he's got a different pose. His guns are like traversing a little bit, which is nice. Phoenix Hawk. Can never have too many Phoenix Hawks. Slightly different gun. Slightly different pose. Not that different, actually. It might even be the same. Actually, looking at the thing in there, I think that is actually the same as the previous Phoenix Hawk. This guy's new. Oh, Jay didn't even know what this was when I saw it. I actually really like this mech, the Wraith. He's got like his face and his torso. He's like a turtleneck and like little artillery guns or AA guns in the back there, which are neat. And Archer, I do like this Archer. You see his different guns. He's got little like arm-mounted autocannons. It looks like there. Maybe those are lasers. Actually, I think those are lasers. He's a 5R. The people who, the technical readout people who know exactly what every technical readout is will tell me what I'm getting wrong here. I'm sure I'm getting tons wrong. A 6R Warhammer, which is very cool. I really like that one as well. He's chunky. He's kind of taking a step this time. He's a little less static than the previous one was. I like to take the time to design them slightly differently. I love this Atlas. Oh my God, look at how cool he is. 7S. That Atlas redesign is amazing. Does this one jump? It looks like he has jump jets. No, he doesn't jump. No, he doesn't jump. It's like, there's no such thing as a jumping atlas, is there? There probably is. Someone will tell me. Another fire moth. I actually really like this fire moth. It's like sort of like raised guns. It actually looks like the arms are flipped weirdly. Like it looks like it has arms that are kind of like up high on it that are like flipped over. I think it's kind of cool. Dasher G. A pouncer. It looks a little bit like a puma. Pouncer Prime, which I think is a new model. I don't think the Pouncer's out yet. The Nova, the Blackhawk, I think is the same. Blackhawk Prime. And then Timberwolf Prime. This is the same Timberwolf I think as before, but he's lifting his leg a little bit, so he's taking a step, which is kind of cool. And then a Warhawk, which is a different one I hadn't seen before. It kind of has like the Direwolf profile. So it has like a shelf on top, almost, with the face like protected from above. It looks like it's like hardened against artillery or something like that, or like overhead attack, aviation attack. Very cool. Warhawk C. Oh, this thing brings the pain, man. Holy moly. It's a size 4, 6 damage across the board. This is a horrifying amount of damage. So there you go. So 5 8 Aerosphere mechs to 2 lances. It looks like a support lance, almost maybe a recon lance. And then you also get the battlefield support pack. Now we haven't played with this yet, but I really want to introduce it. So it's additional assets, like off-table assets. And your BSPs, basically, you generate based on game size. And the more battlefield support points you get, the more things you can call in, like airstrikes, you know, like off-table support, basically. And these cards basically show you how to use it all, right? So like a light strike, it's a deck of like how to resolve and what you have. A thumper, it's like an artillery strike. And I really like that. Those are cool little assets. So the rules are right here. So page 29, before play, determine how many BSPs you have. Extraction rate supports 5, objective rate is 12, and then a tactical creation. Use the following rules when declaring attack. If some support type is being used, it must be declared during the combat phase of the turn it will be used. The player reveals a selection of the support type, but does not need to reveal all the choices of that support type. And the controlling player declares the target unit or the point of impact for the attack, and then you roll your target number based on what's in here, right? So like target number 5, damage 1, damage type NA. So like a light strike is just like an airplane zooms over on. Say I'm on turn 3, we're going to attack this thing, and it goes after it. Bombers. Artillery. So cool little off-table thing. So without having to have like the miniatures for it, like the aerospace miniatures, you can still have a bunch of different attacks. Now, I didn't realize this, and Jay mentioned this to me the other day. A lot of these pilots are actually people who are like supporters of Catalyst. You get some dice, you get your 2d6 for playing just standard rules. I didn't actually realize it because he saw a bunch of people posting the pictures of the cards, and he realized it was the person being sort of like put into the background as like a character, basically. It's like Kevin Street, Jason Allen, Robert Gregg. He's like, who are these people? They're not in the lore, like, because he's read all the books, right? But these are actually just people who are like big supporters of Catalyst or supported them somehow, being sort of like added to the background of the game, which I think is super cool. Jezebel Youngblood, Gabrielle Sammy Kwan, Kristen Ravaz, Jacob Benfield, and it fits, right? Because it's just Earth super far in the future. So there's the first, I mean, that's the really fun stuff right there, but let's get into the rest of it. It's the primer. I actually really like these. Looks like they've done a new one, or maybe just a new cover, but it's the background. Yeah, I guess just a new cover. For all the major forces, sort of like the sort of like top shelf people, and like a basic thing of like, why are we fighting in robots? And then this, the Quickstart Rules. I love this. It's basically all the core mechanical stuff for walking around and playing, and then a core scenario too, with what comes in this box. So a little meet and greet between the Jade Falcons and the Highlanders, Northwind Highlanders, how to play with buildings, so the rules for buildings, and the battlefield support. So everything that comes in this box basically is covered rule-wise, and then play this scenario second. A Clash of Steel, some basics on force building. So choose a force, choose a faction, choose an era. How to use the master unit list, build a formations. I like this, they put the formation stuff in here with rules. I think they put the basic lance stuff in here too. Yeah, so like how that stuff's organized. And they put in the assault lance, the battle lance, or star, and then the rules for those things, which I think is awesome. And look at how nicely painted those are. That's great. Beautiful miniatures. Beautiful photography in here too. And then just like where to go from there. So there's the core rulebook, all of our buildings. So they did foldable buildings. This is actually really smart. I've seen a bunch of companies do this for different like things like shipping containers and stuff like that too, where you fold these. And they're actually on a really nice matte cardboard. If you look at that cardstock, it has almost no gloss, no reflection to it, which kind of ruins these things sometimes, you know what I mean? Like if they're too shiny, they kind of take you out of the game. And then you can just pop these together. So if you're not a hobbyist, if you're gonna buy this off the bookshelf at Barnes & Noble or something like that, they literally just pop together in about 2 seconds, like building a gift box. And I think that's actually what's being done here, is they're just printing gift boxes basically with buildings outside. Look at how great that looks, like right out of the box. So all they really need is some kind of like reinforcements. What I'll probably do is just like hard score the edges of all these, glue them. But if you want to just put them back in the box and you're done too, you could just as easily flat pack them back together when you're done. But I'll probably make some footprints for them and glue them down and give them like a nice little finish to make my tray nice. But there's a bunch of different sizes. There's like, I think there's 2 different sizes. That's size big. This is the same size as this. And there's like a low profile one. So that you can actually have some buildings that like you can see over top of, which I think is cool. Yeah, this one's a bit lower profile, which I think is super nice. And they all use sort of the same basic gray tone. So you've got a nice little cityscape. It's not all shot up yet like all mine are. And then they just tab together. So even with no glue and about 2 seconds of work. Now, of course, it is paper, right? It is cardstock. So the more you take these apart, they are going to rip eventually, which is why I'll probably just finish mine. And make them like sort of like reinforced. Another thing you can do, and actually I've seen this work really well, is get yourself some mat board, like some foam core or even styrofoam, and cut the interior. If you want to reinforce these, just cut a block the inside of that and push it inside, and that'll actually make these nice and heavy and actually help them keep their shape as well. That's a nice another handy thing you can do. Just put some foam inside them. I've also seen it done, and this is a bit weirder, you spray expanding foam into it, let it set, and then just saw off the bottom if you have like a bandsaw or something like that, or you can just cut it off with a knife. That's a bit more extreme because you're never getting these apart again. But just another way of doing it. And then some teeny tiny guys. So these are all the same size. And then yeah, here's the teeniest one. So the teeny one, little squares. But look at how handy that is. That's great. And I mean, look at how quick I built 3 buildings just now in about 10 seconds. So anybody who's afraid of like building the buildings that come in here, don't be. They're just a little bit of arts and hope you guys enjoyed your Saturday morning arts and crafts. There you go, courtesy of Catalyst Game Labs. 3 little buildings, all put together, and I'll photograph them with some mechs next to them and like overlay them over top of this, so you can see like what the thing looks like with like the size versus the miniatures that come in the box. I'll do like a little overlay so you guys can see that. It's probably playing right now as you're watching. But yeah, you can see there's the teeny one, right? It's a little like, and you can even stack them. Actually, that's maybe even what it's for. So you do like them on top and have like a bunch of different shapes, and not all the same shape. Anyway, you've got, I don't know how many you get in here. Maybe the back says. I could count them. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, geez Louise, 13, 14 buildings in the box. And they range from big to little. You get your cheat sheet, which is super handy, and hard card actually, and the same hard card for your buildings and your tokens. So these are neat. So they're just like little bifold tokens. I'll probably make like a little like park template to stick them in, but I want to use them at least one game. They don't look as nice as like model railroad trees, but they're nice and durable. And again, for the non-hobbyist like Battletech fans, these are perfect. And then here's what I'm really excited, objectives. And then look, all your markers. So all through stationary and stuff too. So if you didn't think they were gonna be stationary. So mobile, stationary, jumped, your blast template, your objective markers, and then walked, sprinted, ran. How great is that? I'm excited for those. They're a little bit of battlefield clutter, and you could just use dice and stuff too, but I love the idea that you got some markers for like what your movement was over the course of the turn. And that's it. Retail on the back says $79.99 US, so you're thinking like $100 Canadian for the starter set. For 13 miniatures, 14 buildings, all the cardstock terrain, a primer, a rule book, and then all the cards and dice. So you can play this. So thing I'm really happy about, I'll go into a little like thing. 3 categories. First category is quality of the product. All the materials are super high. Like it's little details like that. So if I was gonna go at a 5 for quality of product, I'd probably give it a 4. Just based on the idea that you have this like nice super matte finish. You don't have to do that when you print this stuff. It's usually cheaper not to. They took the extra time and did that. Things like the box, like just the box not like immediately collapsing, and the fact that you can put it back in when you're all done and just store everything in here, that's what gives me like a 4. the quality of like the actual like Quickstart rule, where they clearly done like, they didn't just reprint the Quickstart rule off the website. This has been made to follow the contents of this box and put like the support materials and stuff in there, and to actually mirror what you have model wise as well, I think is super important. So that's my, we're looking at component quality. It's at the very minimum an A. It's a 4 out of 5. As far as playability, well, I've played tons of Alpha Strike. There's a bunch of different ways of playing it. Obviously what's going to be in here won't have like variable damage and stuff like that. Again, 4 out of 5. It's a great quick way to use all your mechs in a game. And then I would say value for bucks, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. You get literally like it completely passes the Christmas morning test. The Christmas morning test is, what is the distance, how much daylight is there in between you open your present and you're playing the game. There's like, you saw how fast I put the buildings together. You could literally have a gaming table with a terrain and fully built battle mechs and be playing this game inside half an hour. Like if you just crack this box open right now, half an hour, you're actually playing on your dining room table. And to me, that's a huge deal. So value for money, everything you could possibly want to play the game, core rule wise, set up and go in like 30 minutes out of the box. That's a huge win. And for 80 bucks US, probably 100 bucks Canadian. Don't know what it is anywhere else because I don't live there. I'm just guesstimating. I would say this is if you are like Johnny hobby shop owner and you don't know anything about Battletech because Battletech hasn't been in your store for many years, or you're a new store, this is the right product to stick on your shelf and recruit a bunch of Battletech players. Like you have all those amazing Lance and Star and level 2 whatever boxes. This right here is the thing that you want to always have in stock, because someone who looks at those miniatures and goes, hey, I'd really like to play this game and check it out. You got this. You're ready to rock and roll. Core Battletech is amazing. I have tons of fun playing it. It's much more a simulation, and it's a pile of books. For a game store owner, a pile of books just means homework they're not going to do. This right here is homework that if I was a game store owner, I could crack this open and be playing like right away. So if you've thought about bringing Battletech into your shop and you're looking for the product to do it with, Catalyst, print lots of these. Don't skimp on the printing of this box set, because the more of these get out there before Christmas, the more you're going to have probably very, very happy renaissance of Battletech. And getting a starter set right is a huge deal and a huge accomplishment for them, so good job. So there it is, Battletech Alpha Strike, the new core 2-player box for the fast play, more mass combat version of Battletech that is, I'd say, my preferred way to play it. And big thanks again for the Catalyst and Randall sent it for me and Jay to check out. You'll see us playing on the paint table. And of course, a Let's Play in the near future. So tell me in the comments again, what should we do? I think Jay should play the clan this time, because he's played mercenaries and like the Inner Sphere, air quotes, good guys for a while. And I've always had to be the evil Machiavellian like clan invasion forces. So tell us what you think. What would be the 2 appropriately playered, like let's say 30, 50 forces that you would want to see us play? And we'll do like a straw poll in the comments and social media and stuff like that. So big thanks for watching. We'll see you for more GMG reviews in the future. Till then, I'm Ash. Have a good night. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look to the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Desperate Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.